All right, guys, we are going to be getting things started very shortly. I already got my coffee. I'm already pretty much ready to go. Just got a little bit of fine tuning here before we click that camera on, and we're good. So, let's see if we are good. Okay, we are good. I got a weird angle today to my camera. Had to move a bunch of stuff around today, so yeah, well, we'll make do with it. We'll make do with it. The important part is I'm here on time ish for episode number 10. Like that baffles me. That I've actually done this for 10 weeks now. It's kind of just gone so fast. Like I feel like I just started doing this and figuring things out like a week ago. So this is actually kind of cool. I'm gonna kind of yap away a little bit here while we wait for people to kind of roll on in this morning. I know I do these early. I probably should go back to doing them at around 11. But we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna see what we're gonna do. We might do a little bit of moving things around after today's episode. I want to see what people think. We might shift over to a gaming stream on Mondays and go to the Caffeinated Collector on Tuesdays. So we can kind of break up the gaming streams a little bit. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things are going. Dude, what's up, JT, man? Hey. Oh, it's not a stream without someone rolling out and making demands first thing in the morning, man. What's up? I got to invite guests and I've got to make more content. That's the first thing I hear when I start up my stream today. Yeah, happy 10th show. Yeah. So not enough. It's not enough. It's never enough. But hey, you know what? We're gonna keep on doing it. We're gonna keep trying to make everybody happy, So hopefully everyone's doing good this morning. I know I am not doing too good. I had kind of a crisis mode over the weekend. Did have did have a good Easter though. I had a good Easter. Hopefully everyone enjoyed their Easter if you celebrate. I know some people don't, but hopefully, those of you who do rock out like that enjoyed the holiday. Um I had a little bit of a crisis mode, a little story time before we get into the nerd stuff. I had a little bit of a oh god, when it rains it pours. Um this weekend I did not do my Friday and my Saturday stuff because or my Saturday stuff because I had a water issue in my basement where my hot water tank went. So yeah, it was kind of a mad dash to figure things out like that. So I did not attend Anime Boston this weekend. Um Hopefully that's all getting fixed tomorrow. So yeah, currently I'm doing damage control in my basement so statues and things like that don't get damaged. But yeah, I was gonna kind of set a super chat goal or something like that during today's stream to kind of try to get some super chats towards it. But you know what? We'll figure. I feel too much like a shill, asking for that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's when it rains, it pours. I got the living room ripped apart right now because of the blizzard damage, and now I've got my basement. Yeah. So, but hey, we're here and we're ready for episode 10. So this is crazy, guys. As I said, Work's insane. Oh, dude, we just started, so things are just starting. Hopefully, everything's doing all right. I know what that's like, man. Work's been crazy for me too. Have I watched Reincarnated Slime season 4 yet? It's peak. No, I have not. As I said, this weekend I was supposed to be away in Boston all weekend for Anime Boston, and I couldn't because, like I just said, I had my hot water heater started exploding from the top. So, got things a little under control. It's under control right now. Nothing damaged, so that's good. And my new one's gonna get delivered today, and I'm gonna have it installed tomorrow. So, yeah. Cheers, everybody. Whatever you're drinking, your coffee, your alcohol. Hey, do you? But yeah, owning a house, it's fun, guys. It's not. So yeah, I did end up miffing out a little bit on the figure side of things. We did get a little bit of a short change this week because of what happened. So Reincarnated Thursday was supposed to happen and it didn't because Diablo never likes to post. I don't know why. Whenever I post a freaking Diablo, I always have problems. The post doesn't go live. There's an error. The video comes out wrong. I don't know. Diablo is cursed. We're going to try to post them again this week, though, on Thursday and see what happens. So I tried to do a Saturday figure, which was going to obviously be a Sword Art Online one. And because of what happened, I didn't get a chance to post it. So we did get a lack of figures. Oh no, I still have water. It's leaking all out of the top things. What are they called? The anodes or whatever. It's just they're all rotted, so they kind of all started seeping out. So I just have a bunch of towels and kind of like drip trays underneath it right now, and I just throw the towels in the dryer and put them back around there. I mean, it's not like it didn't like explode or anything like that. So, that's a good thing. um, but yeah, my dad's contractor that lives behind him is coming over and he's doing it all for me. So he's only charging me like $300 to install it. So a $2,000 job is going to cost me like 1,000. So that's good. So we'll figure it out. So I didn't get a lot of goodies. I did get a delivery before we get into the figures. Speaking of figures, I did get a delivery this week that I had to send back because they screwed up and they mixed up one of my items. So you know, they're gonna fix it all up for me. They're gonna make it right. My Kuromi Miku figure actually was misplaced and swapped out with a different figure. So I had to box everything back up and ship it back off today. Yeah, yeah, I think it's fair. Like I said, it's just another expense you don't, you never want the extra expenses, when you have a house. You never want that. So we're gonna pick up the new hot water heater and stuff today. My father's coming over with his big ass truck, and we're gonna just haul it all over here. And then tomorrow morning. So tomorrow, just so you guys know, tomorrow's gaming stream may be later than 11 a.m. because I don't know how long it's gonna take for this hot water tank to get installed and removed and everything else. So it may be later on in the day, just fair warning. Today's was almost going to be late, but I wanted to make sure I got episode 10 kind of out here when we were supposed to stuff. Oh, God. My sister just dropped off something. I don't know why she never just comes in the house. She drops things off at my house and then goes, I dropped something off in your porch. Like, bro, I'm right here. So she dropped off some gifties for the kiddo. But yeah, hopefully everyone again had a better weekend than I did. My anime convention kind of went kaput, but it's not that great of a show anymore, anyways. So Anime Boston has definitely lost its luster. I want to say, but whatever. It is what it is. There's tons of other conventions out there. So again, I did have another shipment come in, but I had to send it back, and then I had another shipment come in, which is massive. So I have to play a lot of catch up this week. I have two huge boxes, which are like this big, you know, two boxes from last month's shipment that arrived. And I just got a shipment Saturday with two boxes that are freaking this huge. So we've got about 50 pieces that I got to uh shoot what's in the box episodes for. So yeah, there's a lot of crap, guys, and hopefully I can start getting through some of it because dude, there's not enough time in a day to do all this stuff. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So enough of the rambling and the nightmares of homeownership. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to do what we do. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk some figures. Obviously, there is a poll here in the chat about one of the topics we're going to talk about today, which is the Super Mario Galaxy movie that I still have not yet seen. Again, had kind of a crappy weekend, so I didn't get a chance to see it. So I will see it though. I was a fan of the first movie. And I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. I've heard either it's really, really good, but then I've heard it really sucks. So you know, it's the internet, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, as I said, we had some issues with posting figures this week. So, we did get a short week, but I added a new video on Sunday, what I don't normally do because it was Easter. So, we threw that into the mix this week. So, you guys will get a little extra bonus peek at some stuff. But started out the week pretty strong with obviously someone who usually gets quite a bit of reach here on the channel. And of course, it's Miku Monday, which what is called the Pearl Winking Miku. Obviously, it is the pink Sakura Miku. And I get a lot of people tell me that this one looks like a bootleg because of the wonky kind of wink in her eye. But I think it definitely adds a little charm to the figure. This is not a bootleg, it is the actual licensed figure. And they do have the standard version of this Miku, which has both eyes open, and her Sakura costume doesn't have as much of the like luster and shine to it. It's more of a matte finish color. So this piece, I think this is one of the first Sakura Miku's I want to say I got. Maybe it could have been the fifth. I don't know. I think it's one of the earlier ones I got though. And I still think this one is one of my favorites. I like that she has kind of a partial like lean to the figure that doesn't become overbearing to where the figure would topple over. I think it's super freaking cute. I personally like the winking look on the face, even though a lot of people say it looks wonky and it looks like a bootleg. I don't think it does. I think the quality is absolutely fantastic on this one. All the little Sakura blossoms going on her twin tails, the use of the translucent PVC going along on the tips of the hair, and the fact that we didn't just get an obnoxious base. They did a little something by at least etching it out into like a Sakura blossom. Again, nothing too crazy, but a little bit of effort makes such a difference with especially a prize figure. Just that little etching, instead of it being a plain circle, just etched out in the shape of a flower with a little bit of flower print on it. Very, very minimal effort needed to it, but it adds so much more to the figure than having this thing with a plain black or a clear base, right? I love it. I love the little extra effort. And I like that in this figure, the twin tails actually aren't heavy. So they aren't going to weigh your figure down or start to kind of flop out of their pegs over time, like we've had some Mikus that do that. So I think this one, all in all, is absolutely beautiful. I love the pearlescent tone to the paint job. I think it adds a lot to the figure over the standard version, which just has, again, the plain flat paint job, so to speak, right? And again, I'm a fan of the derpy winking face. I love it. I think it's so cute. But again, it all goes on your preference, as I always tell people. But there are so many Sakura Miku figures out there that it's hard for me to recommend like a favorite. But this one is I want to say one that's on the cheaper side. Not so much the winking version, but as the standard version. So if you are looking for a budget friendly Sakura Miku, which there are tons of because they literally put one, two, three out almost every single year. I do recommend looking for the winking one just because it is, again, something else that just stands out a little bit over, your standard, just regular, happy, smiling face Miku. But again, all goes based off your preferences. No judgment if you don't agree with me. Whatever. It's just my suggestions. And I got a little bit of a thing here I got to respond to before we get into the next figure. But you know what? I'm gonna let Miku stay up here while I figure this out. All right. Sorry. So that was it for our Miku Monday. And, it was definitely suitable because we had like 70 something degree weather on Monday. So that was Sakura Miku fit very, very well. Um, Following that one up, I went back, of course, to our Tuesday, which is Twin Tuesday, going to the ladies of ReZero with not my favorite girl in the series, but of course the kiddos' favorite girl in the series, which is our girl Ram or Ram, however you want to pronounce it. Because we had pouring rain on Tuesday, I went with the rainy day version of Ram. Now, this is the first version of the rainy day figure. And of course, she has a companion, which is Rem. I think this duo, absolutely gorgeous. I love the little clear raincoats. I think they're freaking cute. Her little rain boots are sculpted very, very well. And she has a 1 foot pose, but the way it is sculpted and done, it's actually very, very secure without any leaning. So I do like when they put in that little extra ingenuity to keep things going. Her raincoat has the little kind of cat ears going on it, where Rems have rounded ears and they're almost like teddy bears. I like how it kind of almost has little whiskers going down the sides of the hood. I think it's really, really a cool piece. And even though this one has little shorty shorts on her, because the coat kind of covers up a little bit, it slipped past all the booty chic censorship hits that I normally get. So props to them for keeping it there, but covering up a little bit so it can kind of not get me shadow blocked for the post. So I absolutely adore this one. I know the newer versions of them or the re-releases actually have, I believe they're clear white hoodies and have like kind of like a rainbow pattern going down them. Uh, they're very they're very meh compared to what the standout of each one having their own individual color, I think. So I say if you're gonna go for this set, definitely go for the first printing of them because they had a little bit more individuality with their individual colored coats. If you want everything to be symmetrical, obviously, get a little Death the Kid going on in you. You want everything to be, the same outfit. The newer versions, they do have the same exact raincoat theme going on with them. So, again, another one that's going to kind of just be up to your preference. But again, I personally like the pinkish red and the little kind of green. I think it looks super cute. Definitely like it. But either way, These pieces are absolutely phenomenal. You guys can't go wrong with either version. And you know what? If you really like them, just get both. I thought I was going to just sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I held that one in. Oh, bless me. Oh, it's gonna blow out my face. She looks so dope. Yeah, you know what? I think it's a really, really cool one. Like I said, I love the kind of translucent stuff. Like if you go back over, you see how it kind of goes to a more translucent shade. It is a see-through kind of coat, but the color kind of goes out of it as it goes down to add a little bit more see-through to it. I love how they did that. I think it's super freaking cool. And they do that with the white version as well. It's just solid white kind of fading out into clear white as you go down it. So it's not as eye-catching as kind of the individual colors, but it's just one of the things that I like about them. But definitely a cool addition to any ReZero collection. Like I always say, add a little variety to your figures, costumes, poses, things like that. And it just makes your display pop a little bit more than, again, every figure kind of being in the same pose, in the same outfit. Like, not not throwing shade at any other collectors by any means, but I see a lot of collectors that literally they focus on just, one thing as their niche, right? You see like Hatsune Miku collectors, and they'll have an entire big shelf and it's all the Mikus in all the same exact costume, and it kind of all just blurs together, when you look at it. But having all those Mikus in the display together that all have different costumes and different poses, I think makes each piece stand out more than just a big shelf full of every person dressed exactly the same. They might be different poses or different sizes, but I always tell people I like having the different costumes on display together because it kind of spices things up a little bit and it draws your attention more towards the individual things on that shelf rather than just it's a big shelf full of, figure A, B, or C, whatever. So, just another one of my little things. And I know my displays are not perfect. Trust me, I'm not throwing shade at people, but it's just one of those things that I kind of prefer. But again, to me, I'll look at a big shelf of all the same figure. I mean, it's the same way with Bakugos. There's a lot of Bakugos, and Bakugo only has a couple different variations for what he wears in costumes. So you literally have just this big thing filled with just the same, and it does it's great to show your fandom like support, but I love having the little differences in all the pieces. I think it just makes everything pop so much nicer. But again, just my opinion. And speaking of things that do or don't pop very well, Waifu Wednesday, and we're gonna go with my rant for the day. Of course, I gotta have a figure rant every week. And this week I actually have a couple. So, Waifu Wednesday was one I was very surprised about. And it's this absolute banger of a piece by Kotobukiya as part of their Bishojo line. This, of course, is one of my favorite girls from Street Fighter. Of course, it is our little ninja Ibuki. Now, this is the exclusive edition where she had the face covering, her mask on her face. The standard version of this actually has an unmasked portrait, and this version has both. You can change it. This one is, I mean, there is zero things I can say about this that are in the slightest bit negative. This thing is pretty much flawless. Everything from the cool pose that she's in to the actual sculpt of the piece. to just all the little details in like the muscle and things like that. I mean, you can see where she has the cutout here on the side. You can see the definition of the muscles of like her thighs and her leg all kind of going in. Like all of it is so perfectly done. The bangs that shoot out are sculpted incredibly well. And the fact that this is a one-legged figure, I have had this thing since the day it came out, and it has not had a lick of leaning or warping or anything over time. This thing was sculpted incredibly, incredibly well. And you know what? It got destroyed over here on YouTube. Uh, Surprisingly, she did amazingly well over on Instagram. She got thousands of views. I was shocked because, man, YouTube and TikTok did not like this piece. And obviously, it's because probably the side cutouts here showing a little bit of a side booty cheek, and these side cutouts showing a little bit of side boob. Again, it's one of the things I say all the time that I think is kind of, I don't even know what the word is, disgusting, insulting. I don't know. I don't even know what the right word for it would be. It is a slap in the face to the actual like artistry that takes place into creating these, right? Now, little info here, when I post these as not for kids. So there is no way these will get posted out to the wrong crowd. But every time I post a figure like this, she is not nude. There's nothing sexually explicit about this piece. None of that, right? And yet, for some reason, she got throttled, right? Oh, dude, TikTok will actually flag you for adult content for these pieces. I've gotten flagged many times. I've had to actually file complaints with TikTok. But you know what? Like I said, unlike YouTube, at least TikTok is upfront with you about it. YouTube will deny and they will go, nope, you just don't have an audience. That's all. And that's what their response will be. But yeah, I can show every other video this week got hundreds and thousands of views for my shorts. All anime and video game related content. But this girl right here got throttled. And up until I think last night, she had 6 views. Took almost half a week for her to go up to 11. And for a higher end Kotobuki Bishojo popular line in the Street Fighter universe, popular franchise with a movie coming up and everything, it's crazy to how they can just go, oh no, there's no audience. And it's all based off of what the character is wearing, you know? And that's the same thing that you're saying about TikTok right here, is that when TikTok flags for adult content, it's ridiculous, which it is, because you scroll through TikTok and it's girls showing damn near everything on TikTok, shaking everything all over the place. No adult content for flags or warnings, because my kid sees them on hers and she has a teen account. Okay? So it is wild to see that. She'd gotten some of my figures coming up on her feed, and she'll go, Dad, why is Rem flagged as adult content and I have to accept if I want to see her? And I'm like, oh man, she went up to 26? Holy crap. Wow. All right, we're cooking now. It's wild. The absolute, as you just said, the hypocrisy of it, to where we will not push this stuff out in the algorithm because it's a little offensive to people, right? But yet your ads, do you know how many do you know all the ads I get are like, here's your AI sex chatbot? And it's like, wait, what? Like, I was looking at a Mario video. Where did this come from? And it's like you get all that stuff, but it's like No, 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 no. This is inappropriate. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's crazy because the audience is there and people do like these figures. I'm in tons of groups and forums that are thousands and tens and twenties of thousands of people that love these pieces. And I'll have a bunch of them that actually subscribe here to the channel and they'll go, That never even popped up on my feed. I'm subscribed to all the Kotobukiya stuff. I didn't see it. One of my friends messaged me and he goes, Hey, did you post Wednesday? And I was like, Yeah. And he goes, I didn't get a notification about it. So it's wild because he didn't even get his notification that this figure went live. So it is, again, it sounds all conspiracy theory, but it is pretty crazy. Now, what I could do, I could probably cover up those side pieces, right? With a piece of fabric or whatever, or put a freaking robe on her and they'd push her out. I'd have thousands of views. So it's baffling to me how they do that. And they will not be transparent with you. They will not go, "Oh no, yeah, we do kind of flag some content. Let's look into that for you." They don't do that. They go, "Here you go, right here." It's just there's no audience, guys. Sorry. And TikTok, like I said, at least TikTok, as much as that platform is a piece of shit, um, it is a trash platform. It really is. But I mean, I'm guilty of posting on it too. They will be transparent with you and they will be upfront with you and they'll go, well, it's because of this reason. And then you can appeal it and they'll tell you why or why not it can't be appealed. So I will appreciate that they are at least upfront with you. But since the takeover on TikTok, I haven't really been getting a lot of flags, but it's funny. The stuff that normally gets flagged just doesn't have any views anymore. It's almost like they're turning into what YouTube does now because now our TikTok is owned by, an American company, quote unquote. So it's almost like now instead of being transparent with you, now they're going to do what everyone else does and just go, "Oh yeah, we're just not going to push this out there." So, yeah, it's wild and it's a damn shame, man, because a couple of years ago, these figures used to get thousands and tens of thousands of views, and now they get throttled by the whatever it is, the pearl clutching algorithm that we have. And again, this is not a naked statue. She's got clothes on. All the bits are covered up, but that is what it is what happens, and it's a shame, but obviously, she is a freaking gorgeous piece, and I say this with a lot of my Bishojo, but she is one of my favorites, and she is definitely. I'm looking back at some of the Street Fighter girls right now. She's probably up there as my favorite Street Fighter girl. I think maybe Jury might be up there as like a strong contender with her, but I still think this has got to be one of my favorites. And it is such a shame that their moderation, whatever it is, does that to these pieces. Because again, I could literally pull up my feed. I could literally just open my YouTube on my phone and it's going to be a bunch of thoughts half dressed in cosplays that are more revealing than that figure dancing around and shaking it everywhere, right? And then there'll be some figures on there too, and it's even like ones I don't follow. They're just on my feed. So it is wild how it's like, no, we can push that. We can push that. But a statue with side boobs, do we no. No, we can't do that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's my rant. It's my rant. It's one of them today because we're gonna have an Easter rant too, but it's gonna be the same exact thing. So we're gonna dive deeper into that when we get to our Easter post. But going into something that I was absolutely uh sad that didn't really get any views. To one that didn't get viewed, and that was of course Thursday. for that time I got reincarnated as slime, as I just said at the beginning of the stream, my boy Diablo seems to have like a curse on him because every time I go to post a Diablo figure or a Diablo video, like an unboxing, something goes wrong. When I did an unboxing for a Diablo Kuji figure, I had to re-edit the video and I had to dub over the video because all my audio came out weird. When I make a short for Diablo, something doesn't click, something doesn't go active, something doesn't go live, the video doesn't go live. Something always goes wrong. And it is crazy to me that it is always this one character that I have a problem with posting, man. But again, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again this Thursday and see, because if it happens 2 weeks in a row with the same figure, then dude, that character is officially cursed for my channel. So we're gonna see if it happens again. But so no Thursday video. I did make up for it though by not posting one, not posting two, or even three, but four pieces on Friday for Figure Friday. We went on down to South Park with the foursome from the Stick of Truth game. And dude, I freaking love these little guys from Kid Robot. I don't normally do the minifigs and things like that and all the kind of like Kid Robotish stuff that's like kind of, chunky and deformed. But these ones right here were so awesome. I got these back when Stick of Truth game came out. I think two of them came as a bonus when I got the game. I thought I was going to just sneeze. Okay, I'm good. And then I think the other ones I picked up afterwards, I got them at a convention. So obviously we had our Grand Wizard Cartman. We had the adorable Princess Kenny. We had Stan the warrior, and or I think Stan was a paladin. He was a paladin or a warrior. And then, of course, we had Kyle, who was, I believe, a druid in that game. I think that's how it went. I forget if. No, Stan was a warrior. That's right. Stan was the warrior because one of the other kids was a paladin. I'm brain farting which character. Butters. Butters was the paladin. That's right. And he would heal you and he'd go, "There you go, buddy." Like, So these are just awesome. And yes, those South Park, the first two South Park games were amazing. I don't know about Snow Day. I heard some bad things about Snow Day. But the Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole were freaking phenomenal. And we were actually talking about this on Friday at work. About how I want a third game in this series, right? And I said, well, here's what they did. They did medieval high fantasy in the first game, obviously, in the Stick of Truth. Then they went to the superhero route with the Fractured Butthole, where we had, all the super friends, right? Well, now we could do a third game and we could have it in a sci-fi kind of setting, right? So we could kind of have all three genres. Or they could do the third game could be a horror RPG, which would actually be kind of funny too. But I think the best way to do it would probably be a sci-fi one. But the unfortunate part is that it would probably take place during these current seasons of South Park, which were just dog water. I have never been so disinterested in South Park until these last seasons of South Park. And it wasn't that it was like, oh my God, we're talking about Trump every day. Yes, okay, that was goddamn obnoxious. All right, it was beating a dead horse, right? But the worst part about those new seasons of South Park was that the stories about these guys, about the kids, were so good, but they kept getting pushed aside so they could make more political jokes. And I was just like, bro, we get it. We get it. You don't like this person. Great. don't make two freaking seasons revolving around that. It's just cringe, it's overkill, and it's just beating a dead horse. Go back and focus on these guys, okay? Bring us back to just the kids having their fun stuff. If you want to go and make political jabs here and there throughout the series, go for it. South Park's always done that. But bro, don't revolve two seasons of the goddamn show around it. It just got old. Like I chuckled and I laughed about it. I was like, this is kind of funny. All right, yep, that's funny. And then it just got to be like, bro, we're doing it again this week, bro. Here it is again. Like we got a great little side story with Butters and Cartman going around, and it's like, it's back to this again. Okay, all right. Oh yeah, we get it. Trump's got a little dick. Okay, haha. It was funny the first time, and then 9 times later, it's like, oh, are we really doing this? Yeah. Hey, Satan's back. He's with Trump again. Oh, okay. It stopped being funny. And I know people were glazing it all over the internet going, oh my God, this is the best South Park's been because I don't like Donald Trump. I don't get that. Like I said, I didn't vote for the guy. I'm not a big fan of him either. I don't care. But, bro, you don't have to base 2 seasons around it. Go back to stuff like this where it was just stupid and fun, right? I can rewatch every season of South Park. Other than it got a little iffy back during the season, and I'm forgetting which season, where Cartman started getting all serious and he had his girlfriend, right? That season got a little iffy for me. But other than that, I can watch almost every single season of South Park straight and love every second of it. But these last seasons, bro, I don't even want to own them. Like I would like to own like edits of them with all the stupid political jokes cut out after they're done the first time. Like have the first little Dick Trump joke, great. Have the first little tiny JD Vance joke come out, hilarious. I loved it. It was great. But cut out all the other times they just constantly did it in those episodes, and we'd have fantastic seasons of South Park. They'd be very, very short, shorter than they were, but you know what? You'd have such good episodes, and it would be about these guys like it should. I love it, and Randy is the goat, right? But that's just, I mean, again, unintentional South Park rant, but it is true. It needs to be said. Like I love South Park used to hit both sides. They used to hit everybody. Everyone was fair game. Whether what political side you were on, what gender you were, what sexual orientation you were, it didn't matter. What race you were, it didn't matter. It hit everybody and it was glorious. And now it just seems like, okay, guys, we get it. We get it. Paramount gave you guys $2 billion, and now just you're gonna just harp on stuff like this for the next 4 years. Okay, we get it. And that just means I'm gonna be checked out. And I hate that because I love South Park. I've been a huge South Park fan. Like I said, I own it all physically, and I rewatch it all the time. I love South Park, but the Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole are games that everyone should play, whether you are a South Park fan or not. They are great RPGs and they are so freaking funny that you will crack up laughing at least once playing these games. And if you don't, you have something wrong with you. But they are so damn good. The games are phenomenal. And like I said, I would love to get a third game, but I just think the third game would be just like our last 2 seasons of South Park, and it would just be a political game, and it would just be like I said, just like these last 2 seasons of the show. I think they would ruin the third game a lot. Like I feel like they've kind of half butchered South Park in these last 2 seasons. Like I said, just beating the same joke to death over and over again. Like I just don't know if they have it in them anymore. to do a third game, and it's a shame. It sucks because I've been really looking forward to having a third game, but I don't I don't count Snow Day because, like I said, I heard it was not good at all. But who knows? Maybe I'll grab it when it's $5 and and stream it once. We'll check it out. But these are super cool, and like I said, it's not often we get a lot of uh really fun South Park merch. I know we got like a big Cartman with a uh the collection editions of the video games and stuff like that, but you don't really get a lot. So having these little tiny, damn perfect representations of the in-game characters is pretty freaking cool. So if you guys can get your hands on them, let me see. What do we got? Are they actually? I don't even think they're that expensive. Let's see. Um, I'm just looking to see. They're vinyls. Oh God, they have a ton of them. I didn't know they had. Oh my God, they actually have fractured butthole ones too. Oh my God, I did not know that, bro. They got Butters. They got Kite Man, dude. They got everyone. I'm gonna have to probably look into these now more. Oh no, dude, I'm gonna go down a huge rabbit hole with these. But these in general are still around $13 to $15 if you look them up. Like I said, you can get a loose, like already opened Grand Wizard Cartman for $12. So these are still very, very affordable, especially for how much the blind box figures typically go for. So again, if you're looking for ones based off of this series, I don't think they really had. I don't think they had like a blind box set. It was like they were window boxes. Yeah, here they are right here. I'll try to pull one up and show you guys what they actually looked like. So these are definitely different than what the other ones are. Let's open this image here. So these are actually what they look like in their boxes. So they had like these little window boxes. They actually Stick of Truth. They had, the princess, the grand wizard, the paladin. Wait a minute, there is a Butters. Oh my god, I gotta get the Butters. I didn't know there was a Butters. Oh my god, I gotta find that one, guys. So there is a paladin Butters. There is, yep, Stan is the warrior, and then we have the high elf. I won't say the other word, but we have the high elf, which is, of course, Kyle. So did I say Stan? Kyle was a warrior. Stan is a warrior. Definitely a cool little set. And now I'm gonna have to track down that Butters. So those are from 2014. Um, Again, they have a bunch of other ones as well, and it looks like they have blind boxes of the fractured butthole, and they're the same size. They're like 3 inches. So apparently they have an entire box. You can get the whole display box of all the figures for like $55. So again, still pretty damn affordable, and they are really, really cool. So here, I'll give you guys these guys again. Again, I did not know there was a Butters that went with these, and now it is going to be my mission to get Butters. I did not know he was there. So if I get the Butters, be ready to see these guys again, just with the fifth member. And again, I'm going to try to track down some of the fractured butthole ones as well, because I freaking love these. And like I said, I thought it was just these four when I got them back when they came out. So hey, you know what? You'll learn things when you're looking them up. So cool. I definitely recommend them, guys, and they are still very, very cheap. So that was actually it for all the figures that I highlighted technically this week. But since Easter was on Sunday, I decided to do a Sunday post. Yeah, take a sip of my now cold coffee. And the Sunday post was, of course, a happy Easter from a bevy of bunny girls. And we're going to bring that up because, well, I'm going to just consider Sunday as part of last week's stuff, right? So, for Sunday, we had this massive bevy of bunnies, of course. Power from Chainsaw Man, Marin from Mighty Sub Darling. We had the lovely Asuna, Supersonico, which y'all might have saw last week when we had problems with her on the channel. Rem from ReZero, and of course we had the Heart Hand Miku, which I really, really love. We had the center of the show, of course, the bunny Miku. We had the blue pastel Miku bunny. We had the Albedo bunny. We had the white version costume of the Ram by Cute Bunny. We had, of course, Miss Makima, the super cute Chica, and of course, our massive bunny girl, which was Shion from Reincarnated Slime. And obviously, this is a huge bevy of beautiful anime ladies that got completely destroyed by YouTube over in my reach area. And it is such a shame. Dude, you don't know how much time I spent taking all these off my shelves and figuring out where to place them on my table and get them all so where they could all be seen, right? I had to move pieces. I'm starting to shoot a little short, and I'm like, wait, oh my God, hold on. Her bunny ear's in the way. I gotta move it. It's like I'm moving things around. Gigi's over here. She's helping me. She's like, Dad, where are we gonna put it? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, wait, we should put her in here. Wait, we should put her. And I'm like, we're running out of space. We're running out of space. Like it was starting to get too crowded. And obviously, this is not all my bunny girls. My bunny girls do span the entire top of 4 shelves, and then the top shelves of 4 of those shelves as well. I'm like looking across right now. So, and that's just the ones I have out of the boxes. So there are a lot of bunny girls, which we're gonna be using them prize figure face off in quite a few episodes. So I have 2 that are coming today that we're gonna actually do a face off. So spoiler alert, it's gonna be a Chainsaw Man by Cute Bunnies face off between Hobane and Reze. So that's gonna be coming up. Probably not this week. I'm probably gonna save that one for next week. But as you can see here, there are 2 quarter scale freeing bunnies, of course, which is the Maureen and the Shion. Shion is still one of my favorites to this day. I did actually stop doing the quarter scale bunnies because they have gotten just so damn expensive that I just I tapped out. They're just way too much money. And I say it a lot on this channel that I definitely tell people to look for these by Cute Bunnies because they are so much. I think they look so much more like the characters than the freeing ones at times. Not all the time, but at times. So like if you look at Albedo's, right, and you looked at her by Cute Bunny, and you look at her giant freeing quarter scale, which is like her laying down. Her face on that one, it didn't really vibe with me that well. But the by Cute Bunny one looks absolutely incredible. So I do like that, especially with the by Cute Bunnies, there is a lot more variety in not only the posing and the expressions on their faces, but the costumes even as well. So you have going over to the ReZero ones. If you notice, I have a white costume Rom and I have a black costume Rem. Well, they have the black and white for each one. They have a blue, they have a red, they have China dress bunnies, and then they have one other one as well. So there is a ton of variety. Miku's, there are probably 5 different Miku's now with the By Cute series, with a bunch of different variations as well. There's another Miku. There's 2 more Mikus that I don't have in the bundle over here. that are kind of have their arms out wide and they have winking faces. The other one's what's called the streetwear Miku, where she's kind of in more like a cyberpunky kind of streetwear bunny girl costume. So there is such a huge variety in the Buy Cute Bunnies lines that you don't get with the free and quarter scales. Now I know I follow some collectors that is what they collect exclusively, and goddamn, those collections are impressive. Okay, they are nothing to sneeze at. But if you have that kind of disposable income, more power to you. I don't, so I had to kind of scale back my quarter scales, and I don't actually regret it. After the massive amount of amazing buy cute bunnies, I really just don't. I don't miss buying the quarter scales. Uh, as I say, you can buy almost 10 buy cute bunnies for the price of one quarter scale bunny. So put that in perspective for yourselves. Just the amount of bang for your buck that you get. And as you can see, when they're next to each other, the Shion is one of the tallest buy cute bunnies. And the Albedo, or no, Shion is one of the biggest quarter scale bunnies. And the Albedo bunny in the buy cute series is almost up to her chest. So she's not that much smaller height wise than the Shion. That was $350 or $300 when she came out. You know, the Albedo ranged, I think it was 450 for the Albedo one. Yeah, I know. I bought that one. um, but you know, Marine's was like $300 as well. So they are not cheap. And the fact that these are things used to only cost $150 and now they're pushing 500. It's just I can't really like in good conscience tell people to go and buy the quarter scale bunnies. I always push towards the Buy Cute series. And now they have so many other lines in the series, like the pure, which are all like angelic looks. They have the dark, which are all kind of like more evil gothic looking vibes to them. And then they have the ribbons, which are literally just the girls wearing ribbons. So it's a little bit more naughty. But dude, the lack of reach on this was not surprising at all. I think at the time when I posted it, when I last checked, this was only about a half a dozen views on YouTube. I did get an adult content warning on TikTok for it, which I did appeal. And as of right now, let me just kind of check real quick. Let me check. Did it get reversed? Um, it didn't get reversed, but the view count did go up on TikTok. So I guess that's something. But it is wild to see the amount of throttling something like this gets. And Ibuki, you know, who's not even in a, you know, at least these characters are in the provocative, you know, costumes, right? As part of the gimmick. Ibuki from Street Fighter was just in her goddamn video game uniform. Like that was it. You know, so it's wild to me how they do that. You know, but you can type in Bunny Girl and have, again, just like with Ibuki, your feed will be flooded all of Easter. As a matter of fact, my TikTok, my Instagram feed, if you scrolled through the shorts feeds, that's all it was OF girls and Patreon girls and content creator girls in bunny suits for Easter. And that was everywhere. My kids' feed had cosplayers in their bunny costumes all in her feed too. And I always make sure I'm like, don't follow any of the cosplay girls that have an OF because that's just gonna continue your feed down that line. So she always looks to see like, okay, I like her cosplays. Oh, okay, she has an OF. I'm not gonna follow her. All right, and I always make sure that's what she does because I'm like, don't aspire to be that. Don't aspire to be an OF girl. Like, no hate on them. I'm friends with quite a few of them, but I don't want my kid doing it. You know, fun to look at, not so much to aspire to, and that's the way I look at it. But it is wild to me that something as harmless as just figures from an anime or a manga, which if you watch the anime and manga, they get a little bit more risque than these, and so it's crazy to me. Um, but that's just a continuation of our rant that we had with Ibuki from Street Fighter. So we got a double dose of flagging and censorship and throttling and whatever else you want to call it. And again, YouTube still told me just content my channel doesn't watch. And I responded to them and I said, you cannot tell me that because you look at all my Hatsune Miku shorts, tens of thousands of views per short for a Miku figure. My ReZero ones, thousands of views per short that I get, right? And the most important part that I tried to tell the YouTube representative, that massive Shion quarter scale bunny right there, that one, right here, those big old bazoombas right there. That is one of my most viewed unboxings on YouTube with almost 10,000 views. And you can't tell me that it's not content that my audience interacts with when the figure in this video is also in one of my most viewed unboxing long form videos on my channel. So again, make it make sense to me, YouTube. Make it make sense. Okay. What you're telling me does not match up with the actual numbers. And the numbers are there. So somebody should actually be able to tell me exactly why it does that. And I am not alone in that matter. I have other male content creators. It's funny, the female ones don't have this problem, but male figure channels that I've talked with have a similar problem with this. When they post a bunny girl figure or something like that, it will get less views. But I do know a lot of female creators. I'm very good friends with a couple that posted some of these same exact figures with tens and even hundreds of thousands of views in the course of the last day. So it is very weird how they do it. And I personally just say it's because their algorithm knows I'm a dude. And if I was a girl, it probably wouldn't be as big of a deal. So I don't know. That's just my, again, conspiracy theory going right now. But it definitely makes more sense than YouTube's excuse of it's just not content that your audience engages with, which is, again, far from the truth. So I don't know. Like, what do you think? What do you think? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Like, do I need more caffeine? Like, do I need less caffeine? Like, do I need something? I don't know. It's just it's wild to me. Because it's wrong for men to do things. It might be time for you to show some cleavage. I mean, dude, I could. I could bust out the man boobs. Like, I could do that. I would definitely need some super chats. I would definitely need some money for that because I don't show it off for free. But I could do it. Like, there is a lot of shame, but you know what? A lot less shame than there used to be. I'll tell you. I will admit I've lost in the past couple of years. I've lost almost 40 pounds. So in like 2.5 years. So there's a little less shame, but it's still there. But hey, there's money, I will do the grift. If there's money involved, I will definitely do it. But yeah, that's enough. We'll get the bunny girls off the screen because YouTube will probably flag my VOD afterwards, But it does take me back to when I first did my Dead or Alive volleyball stream, and YouTube kept cutting it and putting adult content flags on it. And I had to actually file a grievance with YouTube and say this game is not adult content. This game is not at all. And I had to have it reviewed by an actual person. And they did go and to be fair, they did research and they did look, and then they took all the flags off my Dead or Alive volleyball streams. And I have not had a problem streaming Dead or Alive volleyball since. So that is the problem with YouTube and every other company in general, basically nowadays, where there are no people to interact with if you have issues. It's all automated or AI driven or, third party driven that don't really know what's going on. And you don't get human interaction. So you don't really get the proper resolution to your problems. And I know some people have like YouTube channel, what are they called? Like you have like a channel partner or something like that, or a channel representative. But again, I'm not a big enough channel to get that. So I can't, I think you have to get your plaque or something in order to get one of those. But, maybe someday I will figure it out. I did actually ask one of my friends who does have a YouTube channel, advisor or whatever. I asked him like, hey, do you think you could just drop a bug in her ear and kind of see if maybe she could look at this for me? And he was like, well, they kind of frown upon, asking about other channels. So I don't really think I can. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'll just keep trying. I'll just keep doing it. So, that's it for the figures. That's it for my little rants. There won't be any rants. That's it. It's the last one. Maybe until we start talking about topics. But as always, what I do is I give my thoughts on my favorite figures. So we'll go through everything I covered again without the rants. Let you guys take another peek at things. And then I give my favorite high end and my favorite low end. And I kind of want everyone else to chime in with their favorites. So we started obviously strong with the gorgeous pearl winking Sakura Miku, which again, I'm very partial to. Love it or hate the wink. I think it's great. And that's my opinion. We went over to Twin Tuesday with another super adorable, going back, still on the pink actually too. So I just noticed that we went pink and pink, with the super cute rainy day Rom with her little cat ear, cat whiskered kind of rain poncho, I guess it's called, right? Not a raincoat, it's a poncho. Waifu Wednesday, we got the very unjustly throttled Kotobukiya Ibuki Bishojo. Again, one of my favorites from the Bishojo line, if it is the exclusive edition with the face covering. The other head, not so much. She just looks like generic Ninja Girl A. So if you're going to get it, try to get the exclusive piece with the face covering. It actually does make the figure pop that much better. Figure Friday, we went with the boys down from South Park. Of course, we had a whole conversation about that and even revealed that I'm missing one of them. So these are from the Stick of Truth, the Kid Robot minifig vinyls, I guess you call them. Again, these are freaking cool. I love them, and they are still generally affordable if you're looking to get some. And like I said, I'm going down that rabbit hole, and I'm going to get me the ones from the other sets as well, because these things are freaking cool. And I didn't know they continue making them. So very, very cool. And then, of course, it didn't close the week out technically, but we started the week, I guess, with the much throttled Easter celebration of large and small bunny girls, of course, with the inclusion of the super cute Taito Easter Miku, which does have, didn't invent about that, a obnoxiously large base. That is one thing that I forgot to mention. Look at that base on that Miku. Oh god, it's massive. I didn't get to rant about that, but that is one thing. That base is so bad. I hate the base. It's huge. But all in all, again, some incredible bunny girls, and I'm gonna take those down before YouTube starts to think I'm showing something I shouldn't be showing. But yeah. So as far as the higher end stuff, I'm not gonna count the bunny girl post in my assessments, right? I'm going to go with just all the other daily figures. So higher end, there is only one higher end piece, which of course was Ibuki from Street Fighter. So she's going to be my pick of the week for the higher end stuff. And honestly, with the exception of a few other pieces, she probably would have been my pick no matter how many other higher end pieces is because she is absolutely stunning. And then as far as the lower end stuff, as much as I love the Miku and I love the Rainy Day ROM, I actually, just because of how freaking cool they are, I think I gotta go and give it to the boys from South Park. The little cheap freaking blind box South Park figures. I think I gotta give the edge to them because they're just so damn cool. And I love all the little details. I love how each one of them has like a little weapon you can put in their hands. You know, uh, Kenny's got his bow and arrow. Stan's got his wooden sword. Cartman's got his stick staff. And we've got Kyle over there with the golf club staff. I love these things. And they are small, but the detail and care that actually went into these little blind box figures is freaking awesome. And again, someone who is a huge South Park fan like me, these are no brainers, man. They are so freaking cool. And I cannot sing their praises enough. And normally I hate vinyl figures like this, like Funko Pops and stuff. But these kind of things, that this is actually what the characters really do look like, bro, sign me up. I'm all for it. And I love them. So it's not a thing. It's not what I was thinking I was going to pick at all. But looking at everything this week, man, I had to give it to the boys from South Park. Shocking to even myself, because dude, the Sakura Miku is so good, and the ReZero figures are so good too. But the underdogs are going to get it. The only male figures I actually highlighted this week too. Holy crap! Actually, yeah, it's the only dudes I highlighted. So yeah, South Park takes it, man. Thought I was gonna sneeze. Sorry. Oh, I still might. Those are so cool. Yeah, dude, they are really cool. So that's gonna kind of tie off the figure stuff. I know this went a little bit longer than I normally go because I kind of went on a couple of content moderation rants there. But I do have, speaking of figures, I'm gonna spoil a short that I'm gonna make. I did get a little package from Japan the end of the week last week that I'm gonna kind of spoil a couple of things out of it because there was one thing that I was very very excited about. Um, we did get a couple of new Mikus from the Miku Who Can't Sing movie. Very excited for this. Maybe I'll bring it a little bit closer for you guys too. So we got the Miku Who Can't Sing. I got, and again, this is going to be a short, so spoiler alert for the short. I got a trio of ReZero figures. And if you guys know, You guys know, you guys know I love my Huck hoodie slouchy ReZero girls. Well, Sega went out and said, hey, we're going to do it too. And they made these super cute crouching ones of Amelia, Rem, and Rom. And I know I'm getting a glare, but these things are freaking cute. I am so excited. And I'm going to put these kind of kneeling down ones in front of the standing ones that I have. So I think these are going to look really cool. Hopefully, we can get a Beatrice in this set, but I was able to get all three of these in this little box from Japan. And I think these only averaged like $9 a figure from Japan. So that was really, really awesome. There was the sneeze and I caught it. So hopefully that wasn't loud for you guys. Hopefully I muted in time. And then they threw in this one actually for me too. I didn't really care, but they threw this in. The conceptual kind of workout clothes, maybe like a jogging clothes, Miku. Thank you. So they threw this in as a bonus. Like I said, I mean, these figures were like $9 a piece, and they gave me this one for free. So, I mean, I'm gonna take it. It's a Miku. I'm gonna take it. And the real kind of grail that I got, kind of all this stuff was just extra with. The real grail I got was something that you could only get here in the States. It was a round one exclusive crane game figure, which our round one never seems to get any of the cool exclusive stuff. So we didn't get this series at our round one because I went and called like every day. But I got the Otto winter figure. And if you guys know, Otto is obviously a singer who doesn't ever show her face. She just has like a virtual kind of idol look. And this is, as far as I know, I think this is the first licensed figure of Otto. And I was very excited that I managed to get this. And I got her at a very, very good price. And obviously, this doesn't have the round one stuff anywhere on it. I think like the US version has like round one like emblazoned on it. But of course, this is a Taito figure, so it's gonna probably look really, really good. I am super excited to check this one out. And because of who it is, I'm probably gonna actually do like a straight unboxing video of it. It won't be a long one, but we're probably gonna do an unboxing for this because I am super excited for it. And it's not often that I get that excited for a prize figure. But seeing as how she's an actual musical artist, things like that, I think it's really cool. And then they even gave me some like they gave me some little freebies, like this little plushie, this little sushi plushie. I don't know. They threw a bunch of freebies in with me, so I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. You know, free stuff is free stuff. So there's your spoiler of the short haul video that I'm gonna do for this week, which was again another little kind of haul I got from Japan. I might double it up with the other haul that I have showing up today. I just make like a maybe make a longer video. I don't know, but we'll see. I do have again the four massive Big Bad Toy Store boxes to do, which has a lot of stuff. Like I said, we're looking at one shipment of two boxes has 20 something items, almost 30 items, I think it is. And the other shipment that just showed up on Saturday has 15 to 20 pieces. So we got a big, big amount of haul figures. So I'm glad I cleared out four of my closet doors worth of space to start putting some of the inbox merch inside of because now I don't have to put it all in my basement. So that is it for figure time. Do you know how long of a video it would be to do a haul and unbox 30 figures in one video, bro? And that would probably get 2 views on my channel for all that work, right? That would be probably at least an 8 hour long video. And that's probably on the low end if I was to do a haul and unboxing video of everything. That would be just counterproductive as hell. That wouldn't even be worth it. Like I make unboxings now, and I'm even thinking unboxings now are not worth it anymore. Although they're starting to pick up a little bit. I know Veldora had yeah, I know Veldora was hanging at like 8 views, which I was kind of bummed about, and he's up to almost 50 now. So maybe there was just a slow uptick for the long form videos, but I don't know. Like I said, hopefully we can get things back to where the unboxings actually uh bring in some views on the channel. But right now it's kind of the least popular thing on my channel. So it gets hard to focus on doing the longer form videos anymore. I will admit I do get a little discouraged shooting long form videos anymore because shorts and now live streams have kind of just encroached and just become the main focus of what brings people and watch hours to the channel. So uh I have to try to remedy that. So I have to start making more videos and putting them out to GA. What's GA? I don't know what is that? You're probably going to tell me and I'm going to feel like an idiot for not knowing, for not realizing it either. I have, oh, giveaways. Yeah, I'm not going to give stuff away for a dozen views. Like I have tons of stuff to use for giveaways, but I've been saving all of it for when I hit monetization. Like I said, there's so many things I have planned for once this channel actually starts making some revenue. But that's not going to be something I just start doing. I'm not going to start just giving away hundreds of dollars of figures and collectibles when I'm not making any money off of this, you know? I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense, but that's just the way I look at it. Like, I'm already doing this for free, like hours and hours and dozens of hours every single week, 20, 30 hours every week I'm doing into this. And I'm not gonna just start giving away a bunch of figures and things. Yeah, that's not what I'm gonna do, unfortunately. Said I do have a bunch of stuff to use for it, but that's a goal. I have a goal set, and I need to just get that stuff out there. I need to start, somehow bring people in that are gonna actually stay with the channel. Not just come in for a giveaway and then never show up again. That's kind of usually what happens when you do that. When you do those kind of things, you'll have a bunch of people that'll join and they'll join the stream or they'll join the chat or they'll join the channel and then they'll never interact with your channel again. So trust me, I have a friend who literally built her channel trying to do that. And when she wasn't doing giveaways or wheel spins on her channel, she wasn't getting any views. So it was like it becomes a thing where you just have to continually keep doing it. And I don't want that to become the habit on my channel where it's like people just come here to get stuff and then they go away. you know. But yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. Like I said, it's definitely an idea I thought about doing. Like I said, with the gaming streams, one of the things I do want to do is if I start bringing in members and things like that. One of the things I was going to do was if we had members, that's why I started the memberships. Um, when we the idea was with members, we would do member streams every month, and I would give away one of the games that I stream, whether it's a digital copy or a digital code or whatever, and that's what we would do. And then I got told by somebody over at YouTube that you actually can't run giveaways for your members only, which I thought is kind of weird because that's kind of like a perk for being a member is you could be part of a giveaway. But apparently if you do any kind of giveaways, it has to be an open thing for every single person on the internet, whether they're members or subscribers or whatever. So I have to still figure out how to do that and not piss off YouTube, you know. But the way I look at it was if people are doing members and if they're spending $5 a month on my channel and I have 10 members, I mean, whatever, that pays for the game itself, and I give the game away. So the money goes back to, the channel and the people and everything else. I'm here for the content, not the promise of free stuff. That seems kind of shallow. Yeah, I've had a lot of people actually come into streams before and be like, "Do you give stuff away, or are you giving giveaways?" And I'm like, "No. Do you see I only have 4 people in my chat? Like, no, sorry." And they're like, "Oh, okay, never mind." And they'll leave. You know, I've had a lot of that. When I used to stream at night, I had a lot of that where people would come in and they would just be like, "Oh, are you doing giveaways? You giving any? Are you giving stuff away today?" And I'm like, "No, not. No, I'm not." And they'd be like, "All right, cool. All right, well, have a good stream," and then they'd leave. So, it is something that I noticed. Not so much, like I said, during the day. Streaming during the day, it's rough to stream during the day. It is because a lot of people are just at work, um, and or sleeping in. So we'll, like I said, we'll get there. I think we will. But that segue, that was kind of a little segue there. We got some stuff to talk about. And I did actually have a few things. So, one of the things I want to talk about, we're going to talk about it first, is the Mario Galaxy movie. And let's see, going by the poll here, nobody that participated in the poll has seen the Mario movie yet. So, we're all in the same boat. I have not seen it yet either. So we're going to go to, we're going to go over here to Deadline. Oh God, I gotta just get rid of all these horrible ads. I thought I had ad block on, but I guess not. We're going to go over here to Deadline and we're going to check out an article from them. They're not as bad as like IGN and stuff like that. But we'll see how this website goes. So, as the title here says, Super Mario Galaxy movie, all the box office records are broken, right? And this was actually yesterday. So this is posted on Easter. So this actually, I don't even think is updated with all of Sunday's numbers yet. But here we are right here. Illumination and Universal Super Mario Galaxy movie, $372.5 million worldwide, is the second highest grossing movie in the Nintendo video game Plumber's Big Screen franchise. I mean, that's not, that is kind of, okay, that is kind of a dumb thing to say, right? Because you make it sound like, oh my God, this is the greatest, biggest thing ever. And it's like, it's only behind the movie that came out first. So it definitely, it definitely just fooled me right here, right? So it is behind the Mario movie, which was 387.8 million, right? But he does come around to say, but damn, did the sequel make a ton of cash this weekend? Okay, I would have started with while it didn't make as much as Mario, damn, it did do good this weekend. Something like that. But the way that's worded just makes it sound like it's going to be something else. It's the second highest grossing movie in the Nintendo Mario franchise. Wait, what? There's only been two, unless you count the original one, but no. So, overseas in 80 territories and more than 23,500 locations and 54,000 screens, Part 2 did $182 million. Excuse me. While in the US and Canada, it rang up $190 million over Wednesday through Easter stretch and 130.9 million over Friday through Sunday. When it comes to the success of Super Mario Brothers movie, the franchise operates in a galaxy of its own in terms of its box office potential, capitalizing on its beloved IP and benefiting from the success of the 2023 film that generated massive global goodwill towards. I just added another word, thus adding box office momentum to its opening weekend potential. We will look for, as they say in the parlance of video gaming, this film to level up the box office in a big way, not only in its opening week, but for the entire month of April heading into the all important summer movie season. Now, that was a terrible video game joke, but I get it. These are journalists, they're not video gamers. But the point is there, like, this movie is going to make all the money, right? Here is Super Mario Galaxy's records breakdown. Globally, it is the biggest global opening at the box office for 2026. I mean, we're 4 months into the year. We really haven't had any great movies come out this year yet, right? Nothing that's going to blow the doors off. Um, but there are some coming. I know there are a lot coming. We got the only animated franchise to have two titles open over $350 million globally. Okay, that's cool. Because you have some very popular ones. You have the Pixar stuff, you've got the Minion stuff, the Despicable Me stuff, all that stuff. And this is the only franchise to have two open that high. That's kind of crazy. The fifth biggest global opening ever for an animated film, and the fourth biggest MPA animated opening of all time behind Zootopia 2, Moana 2, and the first Super Mario Brothers movie. So this did pretty damn awesome, right? So we got the second highest global opening for Illumination, only behind Mario Brothers. The second biggest global for a film based off a video game, only behind Mario. And the fifth global for a Universal film behind Mario, The Fate of the Furious, and Jurassic World and F7. Blech. Okay, some of those movies are really bad. So, I mean, Mario's making all the money, right? It's making all the money. Sorry, I'm getting a text from the contractor. And then my dad too. So I had to respond to that. So yeah, Mario's making all the money, man. Mario makes money. Nintendo makes money, right? They know how to make money. I do have to go in a little while, so we're gonna probably about 30 minutes. So we're gonna try to pick a couple other topics here to talk about. Um, which is gonna lead me into from one video game to another. We're going to go from Nintendo over to PlayStation. So, for those, a little bit of preface here for you guys. For those of you who don't already know, last week the PlayStation price hikes that we talked about went into effects, right? And it was announced that PlayStation was going to be upping all their prices. And, it got met with a lot of negativity. I was one of those people saying how crazy it was. And I say the same thing as a lot of other people. People are going to say it's greed. It's Sony greed. It's everything else. But at the end of the day, the actual thing people should be pissed off about and unhappy with in blaming is AI. It's not Sony greed. It's not the war. It's not Donald Trump. It's not tariffs. It is the AI bubble that is causing all these problems. And I will die on that hill. You've all seen it. You've seen graphics cards skyrocket. You've seen uh, motherboards, just everything used to make a motherboard, your chips, everything has all gone up, right? Your memory, your RAM, and now even your SSD and your storage have all almost doubled in price. So I'm not even going to go to an article. I'm just going to go here to the overview, right, of Cliff Notes as to what was been going on here. So we're going to check out sales because something interesting happened. And a lot of people are insinuating that Sony did this to create FOMO, which it did work on me because I did buy a PS5 Pro. But here we go here. PS5 Pro has been a top selling console, selling over 20,000 units on Amazon in the weeks leading up to the price hike. And that was April 2nd, the price hikes went up. The PS5 family, particularly the Pro model, has been selling out globally. Now, a lot of people are insinuating that this is something Sony did to start selling more units to create a false scarcity, right? I don't think it is. So here we go. April 2nd, Sony increased PS5 prices in the US by up to $150, with the base with disk drive rising to $650 and the Pro to $900. Despite these increases, the Pro remained the top-selling console on Amazon. Earlier in the year, the console reached 92.2 million units in total lifetime sales remaining close pace set by the PS4. So obviously the Pro went up to 900, the PS5 base with the disk drive went to 650, and the digital went to 600. So what that did was it created a rush to get the systems, right? I did go and I fell for the trap myself, and I did get a PS5 Pro with a disk drive. Yeah, I just did a basic search because I was looking at the websites and all the sites were just word vomit, right? And I didn't really want to go and do all that. But that's what you do. It gives you the cliff notes, without all the journalist nonsense. And that's why I was like, let's just do that because I didn't want to hear them all taking shot. I didn't want to hear all the excuses, all the other crap. I just wanted to get to the nitty gritty of it so we could actually say stuff about it. Because again, I've seen every journalist blaming, like I said, they're blaming the war in Iran. They're blaming this. It's not the war. It's not tariffs. It's not any of that stuff. It is AI. It is AI causing the spikes in all the costs of all these things. And we've seen it with just our SSDs. The 2 terabyte SSD I bought for my PS5, the day I got it, I did an online order pickup at GameStop, and it was $160 for a 2 terabyte SSD. That night, the prices went up to $250 for that same hard drive. And they went up across the board for everyone. Best Buy, they went up to almost $300. And this was before the war or anything like that. So it is the fact that the components for all this stuff is skyrocketing. And it's not tariffs. It's not the war. It's not Donald Trump dictating that that's what's going to be. It is the freaking AI bubble. The data centers, all the crap they're using to generate all the garbage that we're seeing all over the internet right now is causing everything to go up in price. And it's not going to stop with consoles. I mean, PC gamers can see it too. The price of PC components is insane now. And people are saying how consoles are getting priced out. You're getting priced out of consoles. Bro, look at the price of gaming PCs. If you think you're going to be able to slip into a gaming PC and go, I spent less money on a console, you're probably wrong. Or you're looking at a decade old computer. So it is wild that people are going to blame anything else they can. But the reality is this stuff has all been going up in price before any of these other things took place. So the common denominator in it is AI. The AI data centers that we're constantly doing. I do know that they said something about our chipsets, right? Some of our AI data centers are going away in the US because of chip shortages, right? Um, I don't know if that is true or not yet. I haven't looked into it, but apparently they're saying now that because of China supplying most of our chips and everything else for the AI data centers, that now a lot of those buildings are falling through. I don't know. I didn't do enough research into that yet. It's just something that came across literally today. I was looking at it this morning before I started the stream. I didn't get enough time to kind of look into it. So I won't really get too into the weeds with that. But that could be something too. Maybe it is. But that just goes to show maybe here in the US, we should probably start focusing on, instead of AI data centers, maybe, getting the manufacturing to be here too. So we don't need to rely on everybody else. But, hey, just, just thought out there. But yeah, that's kind of just a little something I wanted to kind of talk about there. Again, I didn't want to hang too much on it because there are two things I do want to touch base on. One thing, obviously, in the gaming aspect, um, because we don't really have there isn't kind of a, well, I guess there is a short bus kind of game that we could talk about again. Uh speak, let's do a, let's do a wellness check. Let's see how this is going. All right, let's do a we're gonna do the weekly wellness check on Marathon. So before I go into something that's actually doing very good, let's do a wellness check on Marathon. And here are the Steam charts. Don't look like it's getting much better, guys. It doesn't look like it's getting much better. Still at all-time peak, 88,000. 31,000 was a 24-hour peak, and there are 16,000 players right now. So it still isn't really doing. It ain't doing that great. We're not doing that great. And let's look at let's look at arc raiders, because I've been sizing those two up together every week. 481, 154 in the past day, and 99,000 at noon Eastern. So that is a big difference here between these two. 16,000 to 100,000. Same genre, extraction shooter, and I guess the handful of people that are playing, I guess they like Marathon. But that was our wellness check on Marathon. And now we're gonna go over and we're gonna do a quick wellness check on a game that is killing it, Crimson Desert. I'm going to refresh this, make sure we're up to date. It went up. So this game, all-time peak, 276. Not as high as I thought. I actually thought this would probably go over 300 to 400,000. I really did. I thought all the people were going to be getting this. I thought everyone was getting it. But dude, this thing has almost 200,000 players on Steam right now playing at noon on a Monday. So this game is not really slowing down. And that is one thing you can say. I still have not installed it. I have not played it still. My copy I sent back to return actually came back to my mailbox, returned it to me. So I got to figure out what to do. But this game it's sticking around, man. It's still going strong. The fact that it is noon again on a Monday and we are almost at the same concurrent peak in the last 24 hours, that is impressive as hell. I've got to say, that is crazy, crazy numbers for especially a single player game. Stale game gets stale numbers. Exactly. I have been told that a lot of the kinks and bad things for Crimson Desert have been ironed out. So maybe it's maybe I should play it. I still don't know. I still don't know. But a lot of people are playing it. A lot of people I know actually did stop playing it. Again, I predicted it. I said it's going to be like Elden Ring, where you're going to get your diehards that are going to just stay on it and say it's the best game ever. It's the best thing ever. And you're going to get your people that, just like with Elden Ring, got it, sang its praises, thought this was the best thing since sliced bread, and then just kind of it falls off of them and they stop playing it because of something that gets hard or they get something that stops and they just stop playing. It's going to go that way, I think. But they have been doing a lot of things. I guess they've been listening to a lot of player feedback. They've been changing things up. From what I understand, the game that came out at launch is not what we're at right now. Like they are already vastly changing it. And that's okay because they're literally changing things on the fly to player feedback. But that is another one of my problems with modern gaming. You release a game and every week you start changing that game, right? The bug fixes, the changes, all that stuff used to happen in the development cycle where you had testers and things like that. Go back and watch Grandma's Boy, okay? That's what it used to be like. Bunch of sweaty neckbeards and kids locking themselves in rooms and cubicles and just playing these games, not blinking for hours on end, analyzing every little thing. And now it almost feels like we are those people, the players, the people that paid for the game already are now your testers. And I'm not doing this to actually throw shade at Pearl Abyss and Crimson Desert. I'm actually leading this into gaming in general right now. Where that is where we are now with gaming, to where we used to pay testers to do this. And dude, people would love to be game testers. Everyone was like, yo, that is my dream. I would love to be a game tester. Imagine getting paid to sit and play video games all day and just go through. That's amazing. Back in the day, that's what it was. Right? Yeah, they were. It wasn't, well, it was bug fixes because there were a lot of bugs they've been fixing still. But they're doing quality of life improvements. But again, that's the thing. This is all stuff that in the older days would have already been picked up on by testers, right? Your testers would have been like, hey, this mechanic here isn't really working. Or, the glide ability isn't quite what it should be. Or, hey, this animation's kind of wonky. We should do something about. That's what your testers were there for. And now, like I said, we're the testers. So before, this was a job that people got paid to do. And now it's the opposite. We are paying them and we are testing the game after it's already been released. And again, that's why I think is one of the biggest problems with gaming now and things like early access or even releasing the game unfinished is that you are charging players to test your game for you. And we do it. And that's the thing too. That I'm guilty of it too. I've bought a bunch of games that are not what they should be at launch, 100%. But it does suck because gaming has gotten more expensive to make. Right, the games have gotten more expensive to make somehow because of all the overhead, all the red tape, everything else, all your unions and your contracts and everything else. Where indie games don't really have that. But before you used to have like testers in that payroll, and now you really don't. You know, Halo Reach actually was some of the best Halo multiplayer. That was from someone who doesn't really do online multiplayer that much. That I agree. But that was the thing is doing betas and stress tests and things like that. That's normal. Releasing demos, those kind of things. That is normal. But what I'm saying is it feels like a lot of games now, Bethesda games especially, come out and they're unfinished. You're selling a finished product, but it's not finished. And like I get it, like patching bugs and things like that, that is something that's great. Some things do slip through the cracks 100%. But it does feel like the constant changing things based off of your player feedback and based off of, what Reddit and Twitter are blowing up about, uh, makes it kind of, I don't want to say it's not counterproductive or counterintuitive. I don't know the word that I'm looking for here, but it just feels like there's something wrong there. And again, it could just be me. Again, I go way back to when games were when a game came out. That was it. That was the game you got. Um, but it feels like game studios have decided to make the paying customer be the game tester now. And again, I'm not throwing shade at Pearl Abyss. This is something that happens with all these game companies now. But doing stuff like adding things on, like with we'll say with Expedition 33. That game came out, boom, 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 it was done, right? This game was done. It had a couple of bug fixes and stuff like that as well. And then they gave us a free DLC afterwards as a thank you. Okay, cool. But it wasn't like, hey guys, every week and every week we're gonna change something about the game because player feedback. I think that's where we've gotten to now, where it's like, well, I don't like this, or I want this in the game, so we're gonna make Reddit posts about it, and then developers are pressured and goes, oh god, we're gonna get bad feedback if we don't do something about this. Let's go change the game again. You know, and like I said, it feels like we're the beta testers now, or we're the testers after paying for the game. You know, and again, a lot of times it does result in a better game. It's all quality of life stuff. That's great, but it just to me feels like this stuff should be done already and iron out during the development process, especially when these games take 5 to 10 years to make. Like you can't have like John and George and Jimbo over here sitting there looking around at the computer, you know. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's they got to remove that entire paid group of employees and instead went, you guys pay us to test it. And that's what they did. And we take it hook, line, and sinker because that's the way modern gaming is. The more online and more digital gaming gets, the more it's going to turn into this, where eventually we're just going to pay $60, $70 for a new game, and it's going to be the beta of the game and we're just going to be testing it for the next 2 years. Hey guys, this game, hey, it's really good now. Did you play this game? It's really good. Didn't that game come out 2 years ago? Yeah, but now it's in the final build. Now it's really good though. Like that's what it feels like we're gonna get. We're gonna get to that point. And dude, I don't. That's what scares me about the ever online and the digital stuff is that that's eventually what we're gonna turn into. And like I said, I didn't mean to actually slap Pearl Abyss in the face with this rant, but it is what they're doing right now. They are constantly changing the game, and I just that led me into a good segue and a good example of what I am fearful for the future of gaming is. It's like, why should we make sure the game works? Let's just have you do it. That mechanic doesn't work? Oh, well, thanks for paying us to test it for us. Cool. Well, maybe we'll fix it. Maybe we won't. And then that's just kind of what it is. And I don't know. I don't really care for it. But before I end things, I'm gonna go with one more thing here, and we're gonna go a little bit into anime. We're gonna go in a little bit of anime before I end things. So, for those of you who don't know, a lot of people don't like Crunchyroll. There's been a lot of hate for Crunchyroll these past months and years and everything else. My thing is, like I said, it is the necessary evil, of anime, and I know they do a lot of stupid things. They got a pretty crappy UI on their service. They should have kept all the Funimation bones and just went off that. But again, Crunchyroll is the way I try to support the studios, right? Buying the stuff physically is so damn expensive to buy every anime series. It really is. We're looking at $50, $60 per season for anime. So if I got to spend $8 a month on Crunchyroll to watch anime, I'm gonna do it. You know, but Crunchyroll Anime Awards, their nominees came out and the voting came out. So we're going to go to this page and see if it kind of can go up here without me logging in, just so we can take a look at some of the categories and some of the nominees because there have been some angry rants on the internet about some exclusions, mostly with anime of the year and things like that. So obviously we have through April 15th, you guys can cast your votes. I already did some of mine, not all of them yet, but there are a lot of categories. We've got anime of the year, film of the year, best continuing series, best new series, best original anime, best animation, best character design, best director, best action, best comedy, romance, background art, isekai, drama, slice of life, main character, best score, anime song, protect at all cost characters, supporting character, opening sequence, ending sequence, and then they have the Japanese and English voice performances, right? So we're not going to look at all these, right? We're going to just we'll look at anime of the year. So this one got a lot of negativity because Solo Leveling was not nominated. I do think that is kind of a slap in the face because I think as basic bitch Solo Leveling is, it is a damn fun time, right? And my thing is, if you can nominate Demon Slayer for every freaking category, Solo Leveling should be there too. Because I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the pariah here. I have more fun with Solo Leveling than I do with Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is the most overly hyped mid-level blah thing that I have ever watched. But it has some of the most goddamn beautiful animation and sequences in anime, right? In modern anime. I will give it that. but I think it is one of the most mid things. I care little to none about almost any of the characters in that show. And when they do give you some story about those characters, it's because they're going to die, right? So I understand why people are angry Solo Leveling is not in this list. Now, my 2 cents, My Hero Academia final season should win this. Hands down, right? Gachakudia is absolutely incredible, and I do highly recommend it to you guys. And of course, Dandadan season 2 is freaking so much fun. But these other three I have not dealt with at all. I heard the summer Hikaru died is kind of like a very random thing to be on the list, but they have to throw in some random stuff, right? So, those are our anime of the year, right? Film of the year. My vote, of course, is going to go to Chainsaw Man, but we all know the overglazed mid-level slop that is Demon Slayer is going to win that one, right? We all know that. If Demon Slayer is up for an award, it's going to win. Even though when you look at that movie compared to Chainsaw movie, it's there's no comparison to those movies. The Chainsaw Man movie was leaps and bounds ahead of the Demon Slayer movie in everything from storytelling to characters to just actually having a cohesive and complete story to it. Better storytelling all around. Okay? That's just my take, but whatever. Um, but yeah, there wasn't a whole lot for anime movies, right? Let's go to best new series. All right. And honestly, I think it's going to be. I think Gachakuda is going to take it. I really do, because that is just awesome. And maybe Sakamoto Days, but I know there were some very big issues with that when it first came out. But again, we've got Summer of Hikaru Died. We've got the Fragrant Flower. We've got this Takapi Original Sin. I don't know any of those, so I haven't watched any of those yet. If you have, great. But I think Gashikudia walks away with that one. Okay. We'll just go to a couple other ones. Best animation, right? Now, Solo Leveling did get nominated for animation, but not for anime of the year. I think personally, it's going to go to My Hero Final Season. I think that's going to be the fan favorite this year. But Gashikuda is absolutely incredible. Solo Leveling's animation is really freaking good. And like I said, if Demon Slayer can win all that stuff, Solo Leveling can too. And Dan to Dance is just freaking awesome. Um, we have, let's see. Um, so we'll go to all these. Best original anime. So these are like completely just all original series. I haven't watched any of these yet, so I really don't know. I am going to watch the Digimon Beat Break. Let's go to the genres. So let's go best romance. The fact that Dandadan is in this is amazing, but I think Dress Up Darling season 2 runs away with this one. I think it's Maureen is so popular. I think this is going to be a no-brainer. This is going to be the winner. Um, what is this one? Best comedy. Now, Spy Family actually gets a nomination here, which is crazy. The new Gundam's trash. Oh, okay. I don't see. I'm not really a Gundam guy, anyways, so not really a surprise to me. But I think Dandadan's going to win this one. I do. I'd be surprised if Spy Family or Just Up Darling wins this one, but I think Dandadan's going to win it. Now, best action. This one is a tough one because we got Dandadan, we've got Gachakuda, we've got Kaiju number 8, we got My Hero Final Season, and One Piece is in this one, and you know One Piece is going to have its legions of fans in this one. So I think, even though I don't agree with it, I think One Piece is going to walk away with this one. Although I think My Hero actually should take this one as well. I think My Hero has Final season is so incredible, and I think it being the final season, it should probably win all the awards. I just really do. And then what do we got? Best Isekai. I heard Campfire Cooking Another Word is really good. I want to do Twisted Wonderland, but I haven't yet. ReZero is honestly going to be my pick. Konosuba 3 bonus stage. I don't know if that even should be in there because it's like kind of like bonus episodes. But ReZero season 3 is really freaking good. I actually have a feeling that Twisted Wonderland is going to win it because it's all the boys, right? All the boys are in it. Best drama. I don't really do drama that much. I haven't watched any of these, so I really can't say. Slice of life. I think Dress Up Darling is going to take it. I mean, there's going to be some pressure from Spy Family, but I think Spy Family's kind of fallen out of the zeitgeist a little bit. I think it's because it's been taking so long to come out, but I think Dress Up Darling is going to be the one that takes it. I do. I think it is. And that's what I mean. That's what I'm voting for. Best main character is kind of funny here because we not only have we have two characters from Dandadan, which is kind of funny. We have obviously Deku. We've got the character from Pocket Theory Diaries, which I haven't watched yet. I think it's Mao Mao. And then we've got Momo and Okarun from Dandadan. We've got Rudo from Gachikuta, and we've got Jinu from Solo Leveling. So I personally think Okarun or Momo is going to win this one because Dandadan is so freaking popular. Um, Supporting character again, we have two supporting characters from Dandadan and then two supporting characters from Apothecary Diaries. I think having two characters from each series is a little bit of a one-sided thing. I don't really like that. I think it should have been six different series. But we got Engine and we got Bakugo. I think I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be either Bakugo or Turbo Granny that walks away with this one. I'm voting Bakugo, but I think Turbo Granny is gonna probably give him a run for his money. Although Engine really does have a big fan base too, so I don't know. That's gonna be tough. And then let's see. Is there anything else here? Protect at all costs character. That's gonna be Anya Forger. Anya is gonna win that one. She wins that every single year. It's gonna be Anya. And then I think there's only a couple other ones I would look at really, which is gonna be best anime song. I think Iris Out is going to take that one 1,000,000%. The Reze, the whole vibe, it's going to be Iris Out from Chainsaw Man Reze arc. Although this right here, Rewaker with Lisa and Felix, the song is a banger. And it blends J rock and pop with K pop. Freaking great song. So to me, it's between these two. But if my money's going to be on anything, it's going to be Iris Out. And then best score, yeah, I don't need to worry about it. Best opening sequence. Uh, I think it's going to be Rewalker or Rewaker. Rewaker, I think it's called, with Felix and Lisa. I think that's going to be the one that walks away with it. But yeah, I just wanted to go over a little bit of the anime awards, and we'll I don't know, I might try to do a live stream if I'm off that night, but I just wanted to kind of touch base a little bit on some anime stuff because I kind of slack on that, and it kind of the gaming stuff overtakes the news. So I want to do more of the anime news, things like that. So we're gonna look into maybe being able to live stream the Crunchyroll awards. I might try to do that and do a kind of reaction thing to it. But we are pretty much at time. So man, I actually got every topic I wanted to in the appropriate time. Holy crap. I'm actually impressed that I shot those out there. Kind of rushed through a couple of things, glaze over some others, but managed to do it in the 2 hour, 15-minute mark. So that's awesome. I am super excited. Things are going a little smoother now. But I am going to end it today. I do have to go and pick up Again, I said at the beginning of the stream, my hot water heater and everything else broke, so I gotta go pick up the new one and stuff today. But before we end things, we will do the breakdown and the obvious uh, showing of the figures, so to speak, opening it up and closing it up with Miku Monday, of course, the adorable Pearl Sakura mate, the pink Pearl Sakura winking Miku. I said blinking, I think, but again, an absolute banger piece that I recommend to anyone. And if you don't like the wonky winky face, go with the standard version that doesn't have the pearlescent paint. Twin Tuesday, the rainy day ROM, of course, the first iteration of this piece, which had the pinkish reddish kind of coat over the newer version, which is the white on white with the rainbow design. Waifu Wednesday, the very abused and neglected ninja waifu from Street Fighter, which is Ibuki, of course, one of my faves. Absolutely love it. F YouTube for throttling this one. I'm gonna just keep saying that. But if you can get one, I highly recommend again getting the masked version. Figure Friday, the boys, the winners, my vote this week. The boys from South Park, The Stick of Truth, from Kid Robot. Absolute bangers, guys. Again, these are still super freaking cheap if you do like them. Look on Kid Robot's website or even eBay and Mercari. You can probably get them even a little bit cheaper than the $12 a piece price points. And then we had yesterday the Big Bunny celebration of Easter with all the different Buy Cute bunnies and a couple of quarter scale free bunnies, of course, from every aspect of fandoms here. My Dress Up Darling, ReZero, Sword Art Online, Supersonico, Hatsune Miku, freaking you name it. I mean, you name it, we had it. And if I didn't have it, well, they're probably on the shelves up there. And Chainsaw Man, too. Even, like I said, some Overlord, too. So tons of awesome stuff. And again, another one that YouTube seems to not really like because they hate anime titties. But we love them and we like them and we're going to keep on viewing them because that's what anime fans do. Do not let people tell you that fan service is bad. Those people need to just leave. Leave. Just leave the anime fandom alone because fan service has been in anime forever and it belongs in it because it adds something to break up the seriousness, the monotony, whatever you want to call it. Fan service is something that anime does well. Even when it is cringe, it's done well. I tell people to go back and look at one of my favorites, Dominion Tank Police. Cop show and their their deterrents were giant inflatable dildos. When they instead of spike strips. And the villains, the Puma sisters, they were basically strippers who would strip tease their way out of anything to do with the cops. So it was pretty awesome, but the show was really, really good. And even way back then in the 90s, early 90s, it had crazy fan service. So fan service actually is a part of anime. Don't let people tell you that it's anything else. And you know what? If you don't like it, don't watch it. Just like I say with everything else. But those were the final rundown of all the figures that I highlighted this week. Again, I'm going to end it. Thank you to everyone again today for joining me for episode 10. Cannot believe it's already been 10 weeks, guys. This has been really cool. It's been fun and it has been a learning process, but I think I kind of got things where they need to be now. There's a couple of little tweaks, little widgets, things like that I want to put up in this chats. But it's going along. It's definitely come a long way. So we'll see how we are at episode 20 if things have improved. But that is going to be it for today. Again, if you guys enjoyed this and you guys enjoy this on the VODs afterwards, let me know. Also, don't forget to check it out on Spotify the next day. This is going to be going up on Spotify too. So if you guys are on Spotify and you want to just listen to some nerd talk, make sure to check us out over there. And that's going to be it. Thank you to everyone. Do 200 giveaways now. Hey, you know what? Maybe episode 20 we'll do a giveaway. We'll see what happens. But But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. As always, thanks to you guys that come in and chat. Whether it is something that we can joke and mock later on or not, I appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who comes in and lurks. I know there's quite a few who do that, and I appreciate it either way. Thanks to everyone who watches these VODs later because those have been doing pretty damn well. And like I said, if you guys have any suggestions that are not that are not giveaways, let me know things you think I could improve, things you'd like to see more of or less of. I am open to suggestions. Like I said, this is something of a learning process for me. I'm kind of just finding my footing in it. So let me know. Give me all the opinions, all the thoughts, suggestions. Drop them in the comments or drop me a DM on any of the socials. Obviously, they're all down here. That's where you can find me. So thank you guys so much. I gotta go get a new water heater and get ready for all that nonsense. So I'm out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow later than usual for the gaming stream. And we will be doing so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm hoping for gaming streams. Still haven't decided what we're gonna play yet, but we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll flip a coin and just grab a game off the shelf, but we will figure it out. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you again, and I will see you guys later on in the week. Bye, everyone.